Okie dokie. Sorry for the delay. Twitch seemed to be having a site-wide issue with stream connections. And that's no fun. So we're starting a little late, but we are here. Let me go ahead and read out our quest description, just to give a short recap of where we're at. So yesterday, we streamed twice. We had our sort of character creation and origin, where we built up Bryony Tabris, an elf from the city, who got into some deep trouble by murdering a man who deserved it, but she did murder a man. And instead of going to prison, was recruited by a secret warrior order called the Grey Wardens, who brought, well, the recruiter, whose name is Duncan, brought her to the army fortress at the ancient ruin of Ostagar, where the king of the human nation where we are, called Ferelden, is gathering an army to fight Darkspawn, a legendary, sort of, in these people's minds, a historically fantastic enemy that hasn't been seen in hundreds of years, certainly not in a horde like this. And so the king has been pulling everyone together to come fight them. The king thinks it's gonna go great. Grey Warden Duncan thinks it's not going to go great. And Bryony and the other junior rank Grey Warden, Alistair, have not been allowed to join this battle. Instead, they have been sent on basically a side quest to go to this tower elsewhere in the ruin and go to the top of it and light a signal at a certain point in the battle to summon a flanking army to come around the back of the Darkspawn horde and flank them and, you know, hopefully win the battle for the humans. So our quest here. Light the beacon at the top of the Tower of Ishal. King Kaelin has asked you and Alistair to light the beacon to signal when the Darkspawn horde have committed themselves to the battle. Terran Logain's men will then charge the horde's flank. And as we were on our way up here, we realized, or we were told, rather, by a couple of soldiers that the tower, instead of being secure like it was supposed to be, had, of course, been overrun by Darkspawn. So we have acquired 2 random human soldiers, a crossbowman and a mage, to fill out our party up to 4.
Here.
Hi, Alistair. We fought our way up to the tower entrance, and that's where we left off last night. I'm gonna go ahead, actually I need to go in the options menu. I'm gonna change my difficulty to normal instead of easy. Because all of the fights yesterday were going just ridiculously well. And that should change for the new area. So let's go on in. We have a rather large, ornate, double wooden door here. And very ominous music. Alright, we're inside. In here it is no less ominous. There's a couple of sort of makeshift wooden torch braziers burning, giving a bit of light and a lot of spooky shadows. There's a torn banner hanging next to an archway. It looks like, I don't know what the architecture in here is supposed to be. It's very gothic stonework. Very much like abandoned ruins. And it looks like we're coming out from this sort of entrance room into a large central chamber where I can see through this archway that some wooden palisades have been built. So this may be where they were fighting the Darkspawn but had to retreat. Oh, yep, now all of these palisades have caught on fire. Good,
Trap.
good, good, good. Oh, trap. Hold on. Everyone stop moving. I see a tripwire. Everyone hold.
On it.
Alright, trap disarmed. Everyone move. There is... Who's all in here? There's a Genlock Emissary, which is a spellcaster, who just fired a fireball at us. And there are 4 Hurlocks. And the way that this room is set up, we have to run around these, like, burning palisades. It's sort of a labyrinth to actually get at these folks. I'm going straight for the Emissary. So is Alistair.
Where is your weakness?
It keeps running away from me. Hey.
Is it just me, or do you actually think you have a chance?
Got that.
Time to take steel.
Haha, you're getting sloppy! You're mine! Right. Stay still! Show me what you got! Time for some fun!
Thankfully, once we took the mage out, the rest of them were not too bad, but oh goodness. They have much more tactics in here than we ever saw out in the wilds. Like, that whole labyrinth we had to run through, that was pretty ingenious of them. Alright, looted 2 silver, looted a health poultice, looted 15 silver. That emissary was rich. Looted an acid flask. I should see what throwables I have and maybe use them. I have 2 acid flasks. And I have 3 acidic weapon coatings and 1 deathroot weapon coating. So maybe I'll actually use my consumables
On it.
this time through the game. There's a locked chest in the corner with a pair of tier 2 splint mail gloves. That's fine. And there ought to be, out of this central room, it looks like there are supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 exits. But the way that rubble and stuff is barricaded, we can only go out one way. I see a bunch of human bodies on the ground here. It's grotesque. And now we're in a hallway with 2 doors. One to the left, one to the right. I'm gonna go left. A bunch of the wall is crumbled over here at the end of this hallway. Oh,
Right.
Hurlock, Hurlock, 4 Hurlocks.
Let's get started. Have at you! On it. You never had a chance. Here we go!
This guard keeps switching away from his crossbow. That's what you're doing.
No mercy!
Let me set his tactics. Maybe if I set him to behave as a ranged instead of a default mob.
Here we go! It's either you or me, and it isn't gonna be me!
What if I just take his sword away? There, you can only use the crossbow. No sword for you.
This should be easy enough.
Alright, 2 silver. 1 silver. A garnet. An elf root in a locked chest.
Let's get started.
A lesser injury kit in a crate. Injury kits are for if a character gets knocked out in battle, they receive an injury, which is a pretty strong penalty. So this room is around the around the circumference of the tower. This looks like a long, sort of makeshift barracks. There's some cots and bunk beds that are basically made out of sticks.
On it.
I see a chest with a silver bracelet and a health poultice. And an elf root. And then the next room I see, this must be where the darkspawn are coming from. There's a giant hole that seems to lead down into tunnels. And we know the darkspawn come from underground, so I guess that's that. That's a huge cave-in, like, I don't know, 15 feet circular? Maybe 20 feet? And then
On
beyond
it.
that, further around the circle.
This should be easy enough.
3 tunnels. Is that me screaming?
Time for some fun!
Just leveled up.
On your guard!
That's a lot of blood.
4 silver.
On it.
Studded leather armor in a locked chest. I'm glad my lockpicking has been good enough to break all these. A venom flask, which that's another weapon coating. And tier 2 chainmail.
Right.
2 silver. And we have the stairs up to the 2nd floor. In this room I see, it looks like really the darkspawn have been here for a while. I see some, what look like partial human corpses on a stick, like they were cooking them or displaying them as trophies. I see some sort of installation of sticks in the ground. There's a bunch of blood on the floor. This is a gruesome sort of thing here. Anyways, I'm gonna go up to the 2nd floor.
This should be easy enough.
This should be easy enough. I
Make
mean,
us
you
breath.
hope, right?
What are these darkspawn doing ahead of the rest of the horde? There wasn't supposed to be any resistance here.
Why attack the tower at all? Unless they know the plan?
Now that's a scary thought. They couldn't know about the plan. How? They're not that smart, are they? At any rate, we need to hurry. We need to get up to the top of the tower and light the signal fire in time. Taron Logain will be waiting for the signal.
Okay. This quest is not time-locked in any way. On the 2nd floor, we're again in the big, round, open central space. This one has a fire burning in the middle of it with a bunch of bones scattered all around and human corpses. The light of the fire is casting very dramatic shadows all around. That's the only light in here. And I see a chest in the corner with a tier 1 large wooden shield. I'm gonna run out of inventory space soon.
Let's get started.
Wooden crate with an iron ring. That's useless. It is just a sellable item. Okay, so now we have, past that, we have sort of a very small bit of hallway. Or rather, it's like we're intersecting through a hallway, and on the left and right are the narrow rooms that make it up, and then past that is the... is a lot of darkspawn is what there are. Past that, it looks like at least 7, nope, 9, 11 of them.
On it. Let's get started.
This is where it's time for a throwable. Let me see if I can target. There's a line of 3 archers. 3 Genlock archers near me. Let me see if I can hit them with an axe.
On it.
Yeah. All 3 of them down.
Come now, defend yourself! Move and parry! Strike and kill!
I'm taking a moment to instruct my archer to use a health poultice.
A little frantic. Ha! I can see why.
Yeah, that's right. What did I
Yeah, this is definitely the first battle where I've actually, like, felt that we were having to manage
Right.
Show me what you got. Come, you can do.
Okay. We've gotten almost all of them down. There's one row of 3 gemlocks in the distance.
Better than that.
Firing at us the entire time.
You had it coming. This should be easy enough. It's either you or me, and it isn't gonna be me.
Okay, done with you now.
Really glad we had a mage. He was able to cast healing a few times when our health poultices were still on cooldown. Okay, so now that we've actually fought all the darkspawn on this level, let me explore a bit. Explore and loot. So in the narrow room on the left, this looks like it used to be an armory. There's a table with a bunch of shields and weapons on it, a couple of armor racks, and a crate with a quartz.
This should be easy enough.
In the larger hall next to that, again, a fire that's been lit by the darkspawn of a bunch of bodies. There's a book on the ground. Codex, The History of the Chantry, Chapter 1. Chest.
Let's get started.
Steel dagger. That experience was enough to level Alistair up. There's 2 ballistas here, which I guess I could have fired. Oh, wow. I could have fired these at the darkspawn. I guess. Looting the Hurlocks, another acidic coating, 2 silver, lesser health poultice,
On it.
6 silver, 2 silver, health poultice. And then I just need to go back to this one narrow room. What's in here? 2 wooden crates. This is another armory, it looks like. Health poultice, lesser injury kit. Alright. So if I go back past where all of these darkspawn were set up, I think this is going to be this was a very large sort of open floor plan floor. So this room is going to be where we go up to the next floor, I think, where the stairs are. And it has 5 genlocks in it.
Let's make this quick, shall we?
Let's grab some glory.
Alistair just did a decapitation.
No mercy!
Gotcha!
I'm still convinced there must be others. Alright. Health poultice. 2 silver. Wooden crate with an elf root. Chest with tier 2 chainmail, or chainmail gloves, rather.
Right.
And 3 silver on a gemlock. Alright, I'm gonna level me and Alistair up. Since we're both ready. I'm a level 6 rogue. I'm going to bring my cunning up to 18 and my constitution up to 14. I feel like I've been neglecting my con a little bit. For a skill, I'm going to give myself 3rd tier combat training. I was also considering maybe first rank herbalism. That will let me make simple potions, but we're good on potions right now. And then for my talent, I'm gonna go with... I'm gonna have to go with something I don't really need, which is the sustained mode dual striking. While in this mode, the character strikes with both weapons simultaneously, but suffers from -15 attack and plus 15% duration. Each attack combines the damage of both weapons with the speed of the slower, but you can't inflict critical hits or backstabs. I don't like this mode. I think it's not good, so I never use it, but you have to take it to unlock the stuff later in the talent tree. And then Alistair, I'm going to bring his strength up to... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to pump his strength up to 24. Make him a strong boy. And he'll also get 3rd rank combat training. And for him, I will unlock the... the sustained mode shield cover, which specifically focuses on missile deflection for being attacked by ranged attacks. I'm going to change his tactics a bit. Do that. Put that in there. My tactics, I'm controlling me always, so I don't need AI. And yeah, up to the 3rd floor we go.
Logain better be ready to charge as soon as we light the signal. The king is depending on us.
Thanks. I hope so too. What if I can talk to him in here?
We need to get to the beacon. The king needs Logain to charge.
No conversation. How about my other guys?
We must get to the top of the tower.
What do we do now?
Okay. Chaosbringer asks, how do they actually know when to light it? That's a great question. I don't know how it's supposed to work. I think it's like you're supposed to be able to tell when the army has like committed themselves to the battle, like when they're in it and they're too committed to retreat, so then they can lead the flanking charge. Or maybe there's some sort of signal that they'll give from the ground, like the commanders will give. I don't know how it's supposed to work.
Let's get started.
It's not explained very well. I just found 20 ice arrows on a corpse. This 3rd floor, again, in the open center section, the darkspawn have really set up some gruesome stuff with bodies. More corpses on sticks, piles of them on the ground. I see just like, there's a head on a spike here, a couple of heads on a spike. Just really making some art out of it. And past that, through the open room into a room around the perimeter, I see 4 genlocks and 2 hiding in the corners. The equivalent of hiding
On your guard! Here we go!
Oh, I accidentally just got friendly fired by my mage. He shot a lightning cone out of his hands and I got caught in it.
This should be easy enough.
Friendly fire is a serious concern.
You're getting sloppy! Ha! Is that all you've got? Let's get started.
I wonder if that has to do, you're saying the weapon sounds are loud but the spells are inaudible. Yeah, I wonder if it has to do with the fact that I have my camera centered on my main character and not on the mage. I'll try centering on him in the next combat and see if that does anything. which will be now.
Darkspawn, destroy the fiends.
That's
That
nice.
lever over there! It will release the hound!
That one's lightning.
Cut them down!
That one was just sort of generic arcane bolt. Here's the lightning that I got caught in last time.
You're mine!
It's a shock cone. Here's a mind blast that stuns people.
Die!
Oh, that one doesn't really have any sound, does it?
Have at you!
There's so many!
Show me what you've got!
Right then!
Yeah, you're right. Some of these spells just do not have good or any sound effects. That's disappointing. Okay, I've officially reached inventory full, so I'm gonna trash some things. Tier 1 axe, Tier 1 battle axe. Tier 2 sword that I have 2 of. Tier 1 shield. I don't know why I've been picking this stuff up in the first place if I know it's this low quality, but you know, you gotta take it all. Alright, and in this room, there's actually a bunch of friendly dogs in cages. And I can release them. There are 3 Mabari hounds.
Let's get started.
I can, I think I may be able to lure them. Like if I lure a fight near them, they'll fight with me. What I should have done was release them during that combat, but I was focused on spell sounds. Hey, pups. Wish I could tell you to move. Alright, so now we have a hallway with 3 doors. All of the doors are on the left. There's nothing on the right. In the first room we have 3 darkspawn. Let me see if I can grab everyone and tell us, hey, lure these
Time for a
darkspawn
little
out.
cleanup!
See if we can get the dogs to come. Not 2 of them. Yep, we got the dogs activated. Dogs, activate!
Time for some fun!
There's so many! Die!
There is your weakness!
I'm gonna throw a venom flask. I see 4 Hurlocks all clumped up together. See if I can hit them without hitting Alistair, who's nearby.
Let's get started.
Nope, I definitely hit Alistair.
This should be easy enough. On your guard! No quarter!
There are definitely more darkspawn coming out from the other doors. Yeah, from doors 2 and 3.
For the
Momentary strike and kill!
Two dogs. Very badass. Is that everything? I guess that was all. Alright, time to loot. Lesser stamina draw. Acidic coating. I haven't been running out of stamina. That is something I haven't noticed happening. Usually I'm waiting on my cooldowns for too long. So the first room is another makeshift bunk room. Second room, again, more of that. We have a crate with an injury kit and 1 silver. And then in the third room, oh, there's a gem lock. 2 silver. Third room, also a bunk room. There must have been quite a few guards stationed here. Or at least housed here.
Let's get started.
I mean, this isn't one of the only permanent, like, surviving structures in this fortress. Okay, so that's all 3 of the hallway rooms. And then we have the door at the end of the hall, which contains more darkspawn. Only 3 of them.
You're mine!
The last one ran away.
Only one shall stand!
Thanks, puppies.
This should be easy enough.
Wish I could, like, do anything else with the dogs, but unfortunately they will not. They won't go further up the tower with us, and we can't do anything with them here. Unlocked a chest, tier 3 splint mail gloves. Weapon stand with a U longbow, that's tier 3 wood. And I guess there's nothing left to do but go up. We're basically in the stairwell here. A bunch of barrels. This must have been a storage and stairwell. And the door here says top floor. We're running in and then we stop looking at around us. A massive ogre is eating a body near a fire in this middle of the room. It stands 25 feet tall. Roars at us. Nasty spit coming out of its mouth. So here's our boss. Ogre is tier red, definitely boss tier. There's stained glass windows in this room which are casting like dust, light rays, god rays around. And the ogre is really the only thing in here. It and its fire. I'm gonna use a weapon coating for this. I'm gonna use an acid coating.
Take that!
Look at this man!
And see if I can get myself
I
behind
love
that
it.
backstab. Nope. Alistair, you take the aggro. Face me. Ah, damn it.
No mercy! You're getting flopped!
It's using an ability called Massive Attack, which keeps knocking me back, doing a ton of damage. Alright, I'm getting the death blow animation. I hit it twice, swiped at it twice, then I run around to its front and jump up at its chest. So like I'm jumping 10 feet into the air to stab it right in the chest. Once, twice, and then the final volley. And
The beacon is over here. We've surely missed the signal. Let's light it quickly before it's too late.
it's glitching out. It's still like doing its attack animation, hovering in the air. Hey, my dude, you're dead.
As you wish.
I can loot it. Alright, it has a potent health poultice. A heavy chainmail. A tier 3 unique shield. And a tier 2 lightning rune. It's all very good. There's also 2 barrels over here in the corner before I go interact with the signal. I have a tribal necklace, which is a gift for any companion. And an iron ring. I don't want that. I'm also going to go ahead and take off the unique equipment from my soldier party members, because this is the point where they leave me. Spoiler alert. I don't remember if the game automatically gives you back their unique equipment or not. I hope it does, but you can never be sure. Alright. Yeah, so there's no windows out here. Like, we literally cannot see the battle at all. The windows are stained glass, and we can't reach them. There's a railing about 10 feet from the windows that prevents us from even approaching them. So really all we can do is just go over to this fireplace that's marked beacon and interact with it. We're seeing a view of the tower from the outside, the beacon exploding in fire.
Sound the retreat.
But
Commander
what about
Lothering.
the king? Should we not...
Do as I command.
Grips her by the wrist, giving the order. Scowling.
Pull out! All of you, let's move!
And Logain's army turns to march away. He looks wistfully up at the tower, but sets his face in determination. And the beacon flares on into the night. And we see the battle. Flaming fireballs are still hitting the fortress. We see Duncan and King Kalen fighting in the midst of the melee. Duncan staggers, looks across the battlefield, sees an ogre grab King Kalen. A huge ogre grabs him by the chest. His sword falls to the ground. The ogre roars and snaps him in half. Throws the king's body to the ground near Duncan, who looks up in sadness as the ogre screams. Then, face set, grabs his sword, runs up, and stabs the ogre in the chest over and over and over again. The ogre falls to the ground with Duncan on top of it. He's covered in blood by this point. Grabs his midsection, looks around at the battle. Stumbles back over to the king's body. Falls to his knees near his king. In the distance, we can see that the humans are decisively losing. Duncan looks up at the beacon. And a Hurlock with a battle axe runs towards him, swings it, and cut to white. Back at the tower, Alistair and Bryony are assaulted, ambushed by several darkspawn, shot through with arrows, and fade to white for us as well. We have super lost. Super duper lost. And we see Morrigan from earlier. I'm waking up.
Your eyes finally open. Mother shall be pleased.
I'm waking up, stripped to my undergarments in a bed. In apparently what must be Morrigan's home. Yes. Where am I?
Back in the wilds, of course. I am Morrigan, lest you have forgotten, and I have just bandaged your wounds. You are welcome, by the way. How does your memory fare? Do you remember Mother's rescue?
She rescued me? You mean from the tower?
Mother managed to save you and your friend, though 'twas a close call. What is important is that you both live. The man who was to respond to your signal quit the field. The darkspawn won your battle. Those he abandoned were massacred. Your friend, he is not taking it well.
My friend? You mean Alistair?
The suspicious dim-witted one who was with you before, yes. He is outside by the fire. Mother asked to see you when you awoke.
I have some questions, if you don't mind.
I do not mind. Take your time.
Are we safe here? Where are the darkspawn?
We are safe, for the moment. Mother's magic keeps the darkspawn away. Once you leave, 'tis uncertain what will happen. The horde has moved on, so you might avoid it.
So you ask, were they losing badly enough before Logain called the retreat, or was he doing it for some other reason? That is unclear. We will hear various perspectives. Some kinder to him as a tactical commander, some calling him a, opportunistic, leaving the king to die. We're gonna hear many sides of this story. The framing of the video that we saw just there, the cutscene video, definitely made it seem like he was doing it as an act of betrayal or self-serving rather than realizing the battle was lost. It seems like he had already determined to leave. Based on the video, of course. It may be an unreliable narrator. To Morrigan. Why did your mother save us?
I wonder at that myself. But she tells me nothing. Perhaps you were the only ones she could reach. I would have rescued your king. A king would be worth a much higher ransom than you.
Coin is important to you, out here?
Who says I would ransom for coin? Gold has its uses, I suppose, but power buys far more.
How did she manage to rescue us exactly?
She turned into a giant bird and plucked the two of you from atop the tower, one in each talon. If you do not believe that tale, then I suggest you ask Mother yourself. She may even tell you.
Are there any survivors besides us?
Only stragglers that are long gone. You would not want to see what is happening in that valley now.
Why? What's happening?
Are you sure you want me to describe it?
Maybe not then.
Suit yourself.
Why did Teyrn Loghain abandon the king?
I do not know who this Logain even is. Perhaps ask Mother of it.
I think I've asked enough questions.
I agree. 'Tis time you speak with Mother, then be on your way.
Alright, so I've gotten dressed again. There's a chest at the foot of the bed that has a tier 1 leather armor in it. I can't take that because my inventory's full. And there is a key-locked chest by the fireplace. So this is a small house. I was on what looks to be the only bed, although there is a pelt of some sort in the far corner. I'm not sure if it's a rug or a sleeping mat or both. There's some skulls and bones on a table made out of a board between two barrels. It's very suspicious. There's a bunch of wood piled up and a fire burning. There's a lot of books sort of spilling off of two bookshelves piled on the floor. One is open on a reading pedestal. A couple of piles of clothes in the corner, and then the front door. Alistair's standing by the marsh outside.
See, here is your fellow Grey Warden. You worry too much, young man.
You're alive. I thought you were dead for sure.
I'm fine. I appreciate your concern.
Oh, this doesn't seem real. If it weren't for Morrigan's mother, we'd be dead on top of that tower.
Do not talk about me as if I am not present, lad.
I didn't mean... But what do we call you? You've never told us your name?
Names are pretty, but useless. The chastened folk call me Flemeth. I suppose it will do.
The Flemeth? From the legends? Daveth was right. You're the Witch of the Wilds, aren't you?
And what does that mean? I know a bit of magic, and it has served you both well, has it not?
If you're Flemeth, you must be very old and powerful.
Must I? Age and power are relative. It depends on who is asking. Compared to you, yes, on both counts.
Then why didn't you save Duncan? He was our leader.
I am sorry for your Duncan, but your grief must come later. In the dark shadows before you take vengeance, as my mother once said. Duty must come now. It has always been the Grey Warden's duty to unite the lands against the Blight. Or did that change when I wasn't looking?
Of course not.
But we were fighting the darkspawn. The king had nearly defeated them. Why would Loghain do this?
Now that is a good question. Men's hearts hold shadows darker than any tainted creature. Perhaps he believes the Blight is an army he can outmaneuver. Perhaps he does not see that the evil behind it is the true threat.
The archdemon.
What is this archdemon exactly?
It is said that long ago, the Maker sent the old gods of the ancient Tevinter Imperium to slumber in prisons deep beneath the surface. An archdemon is an old god awakened and tainted by darkspawn. Believe that or not, history says it's a fearsome and immortal thing, and only fools ignore history.
We should contact the rest of the Grey Wardens.
Kaelin already summoned them. They'll come if they can, but I expect Loghain has already taken steps to stop them. We must assume they won't arrive in time.
What could the Terran hope to gain by betraying the king?
The throne? He's the Queen's father. Still, I can't see how he'll get away with murder.
You speak as if he would be the first king to gain his throne that way. Grow up, boy.
If Al-Eamon knew what he did, he would never stand for it. The Landsmeet would never stand for it. There would be civil war.
Al-Eamon? The Arl of Redcliffe?
I suppose. Al-Eamon wasn't at Ostagar. He still has all his men. And he was Kaelin's uncle. I know him. He's a good man, respected in the Landsmeet. Of course, we could go to Redcliffe and appeal to him for help.
And say he doesn't help us. What then?
You have more at your disposal than merely old friends.
Of course! The treaties! Grey Wardens can demand aid from dwarves, elves, mages, and other places. They're obligated to help us during a blight.
I may be old, but dwarves, elves, mages, this Arl-Eamon, and who knows what else. This sounds like an army to me.
So can we do this? Go to Redcliffe and these other places and build an army?
Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Take one step at a time, but it is not so bad to know where those steps will lead you, yes?
It's always been the Grey Warden's duty to stand against a blight. And right now, we're the Grey Wardens.
So you are set then, ready to be Grey Wardens.
I don't suppose you could offer any more help.
Now that you mention it, I do have one more thing to offer.
The stew is bubbling, Mother dear. Shall we have 2 guests for the eve, or none?
The Grey Wardens are leaving shortly, girl. And you will be joining them.
Such a shame. What?
You heard me, girl. The last time I looked, you had ears. Ha ha!
thank you, but if Morrigan doesn't wish to join us...
Her magic will be useful. Even better, she knows the wilds and how to get past the horde.
Have I no say in this?
You have been itching to get out of the wilds for years. Here is your chance. As for you, Wardens, consider this repayment for your lives.
Was this your idea all along?
Pardon me, but I had the impression that you two needed assistance, whatever the form.
Not to look a gift horse in the mouth, but won't this add to our problems? Out of the wilds, she's an apostate.
If you do not wish help from us illegal mages, young man, perhaps I should have left you on that tower.
Point taken.
Mother, this is not how I wanted this. I'm not even ready.
You must be ready. Alone, these two must unite Ferelden against the darkspawn. They need you, Morrigan. Without you, they will surely fail, and all will perish under the blight. Even I.
I understand.
And you, Wardens, do you understand? I give you that which I value above all in this world. I do this because you must succeed.
I understand.
Allow me to get my things, if you please. I am at your disposal, Grey Wardens. I suggest a village north of the wilds as our first destination. It is not far, and you will find much you need there. Or, if you prefer, I shall simply be your silent guide. The choice is yours.
Actually, I have some questions.
I may have answers. Ask.
Have you never been outside the wilds?
From time to time. I have been to the village I mentioned, watched its people, and pondered what curious beings they are. On occasion, I purchased goods from the village merchants. There I spoke with men a little. There they stared and knew me as an outsider. Mother wishes for me to expand the horizon of my experience beyond the wilds. Even she was not born here.
How are we going to get past the darkspawn?
The real question is how we are going to get your friend past the darkspawn, is it not?
That's true. We can sense the darkspawn. Conversely, they can sense us.
That's not reassuring.
We should be able to sneak past smaller groups, but larger ones, or particularly intelligent darkspawn, will always detect us.
Mother has given me something else for them to smell instead as we pass by. It is important we head out of the wilds, however, not farther in.
Tell me about this village to the north.
It is a small place of little consequence called Lothering. No more than a stop along your Imperial Highway where travelers purchase goods from local farms and smiths. I would go more often were it not for the town's chantry. It makes the village particularly intolerant and unpleasant for a stranger such as me.
A chantry? And they never in all this time thought that maybe you were a witch?
Of course they have. They even called out their Templars once. They found nothing.
Is there any reason to go to Lothering, then?
I mention it for its tavern, where travelers gather with news from other places. 'Tis small enough that our appearance might go unnoticed. Beyond that, 'tis close, and I know the way.
The other two questions that I'm choosing not to ask are you really Flemeth's daughter, which seems rude, and what skills do you have exactly, which also seems rude. So I'm going to pick, I have no more questions.
Farewell, Mother. Do not forget the stew on the fire. I would hate to return to a burned-down hut.
Bah! 'Tis far more likely you will return to see this entire area, along with my hut, swallowed up by the blight.
All I meant was...
Yes, I know. Do try to have fun, dear.
Morrigan has joined the party. Okay. Somehow, out of all that conversation, I gained +4 approval with Alistair. We've got a lot of new quests, so we're going to have a major quest for each of these groups that Alistair mentioned we have treaties with. So with the Circle of Magi, with the Dalish Elves, with the dwarves of Orzammar, and with Arl Eamon, a powerful human noble in the city of Redcliffe. But first, we will be locked into going to Lothering. So, let me take a moment. I'm just gonna run over here for a moment and check out Morrigan's leveling. She is a level 7 mage. I think me and Alistair are both level 6, so she's a level above us. I need to assign all 23 of her skill points. So let's see. I'm gonna get her magic up to 22, willpower up to 20, cunning 16, constitution 14, dex 12, strength 12. I have one more point. 23 magic. And she already has the specialization shapeshifter. So, I will, for skills, I'm gonna give her 2 levels of herbalism for potion crafting, 2 levels of tactics, and 1 level of survival. And then for shape-shifting forms, there are 4 forms: spider shape, bear shape, which she can get at level 8, flying swarm at level 10, and master shapeshifter at level 12, which boosts both the bear and spider. So I'll go ahead and give her the spider. Although, frankly, when I've played this game before, I haven't done much with her as a shapeshifter. She's much more useful as a spellcaster. And then I can choose from 4 magic classes. The primal class, which is elemental spells. The creation class, which is mostly healing and buffing. The spirit class, which is about sort of manipulating energy. And then the entropy class, which is destructive magic. I'm gonna try and, I don't know, balance her out a bit. So I like starting with the primal class, because those are some just real basic damage spells. We have Winter's Grasp, which is a frost spell, lightning. We also have the second one in the lightning tree is Shock, which is a cone of lightning coming out from the hands. That's very useful. I'm going to go down to the entropy tree and give her Drain Life, which is good. I'm going to give her Mind Blast from Spirit. I'll give her a couple other spells from Entropy. I'll give her the Disorient spell and the Weakness spell. And then for now, I'll give her the Debilitator Tactics set, which will prioritize those debuff spells. Leave it there for now. I'll deal with her tactics later. And I don't know, is there anything more I can say to Flumeth?
Have you not left yet? I hope you are not hanging about for some stew.
I guess I can ask her some questions. Could you answer some questions?
Questions. One would think a Grey Warden would be more interested in action.
I just want to see my options. Can I ask about your magic? How long have you lived in the wilds? What will you do once we're gone? Do you have any advice? I'll just say, do you have any advice?
About the darkspawn?
About anything, really.
Then hear this. I laugh at a world full of stupid humans who ignore the Blight's evil and abandon their vigilance to chase mortal goals. Remember, it is up to you to destroy the Blight. Pray not for someone else to destroy it. It will always nip at your heels.
Okay, I have no more questions.
Then we are done. Now, if you will excuse me, I have some dinner to eat.
Well, she's still standing there, but we will go. We'll walk to the edge of the little swamp here. There's a couple of torches placed that sort of indicate her driveway, I guess, is how I would describe it. Autosave. That's a good reminder. I haven't saved today. Leaving with Morrigan. And off we go. I think this will be our first time seeing the world map. Yeah. So we are in the far south of the country, in the Korkari Wilds at Flemeth's Hut. We'll be traveling north to Lothering, a small town just off the Imperial Highway at the edge of the hinterlands. The Imperial Highway seems to run north from the Korkari Wilds up to Lothering, which is where it splits. Instead of going north, it goes west and east instead. Our progress on the map is marked by a series of blood drops staining the map, and we have a random encounter on the way. We're seeing a movie of a city labeled as Denerim. Inside a hall.
And I expect each of you to supply these men. We must rebuild what was lost at Ostagar, and quickly. There are those who would take advantage of our weakened state if we let them. We must defeat this darkspawn incursion, but we must do so sensibly and without hesitation.
Your lordship, if I might speak. You have declared yourself Queen Anora's regent, and claim we must unite under your banner for our own good. But what of the army lost at Ostagar? Your withdrawal was most fortuitous.
Everything I have done has been to secure Ferelden's independence. I have not shirked my duty to the throne, and neither will any of you!
The Banorn will not bow to you simply because you demand it.
Understand this. I will brook no threat to this nation from you or anyone.
That was Loghain in full armor giving a speech to a gathered crowd.
Bantegan, please!
Your Majesty, your father risks civil war. If Eamon were here...
Bantegan, my father is doing what is best.
Did he also do what was best for your husband, Your Majesty?
Now we are seeing ourselves walking along a road. The three of us. And a dog is racing towards us. A Mabari hound. I kneel down to greet it. It barks and then turns around. It's jumping. It wants to draw our attention. And there are about a dozen darkspawn approaching up the road. Great question. How did the dog get here? Who knows? So in that previous scene, we were seeing Loghain in a hall of the palace, presumably, giving a speech to all of the nobles of Ferelden. One of whom, Tegan, who was a white man with short, red-brown hair, with green-tinted armor. Most of the nobles were just wearing silks, but Tegan was also wearing armor. Spoke up to challenge him. And the Queen, Anora, Loghain's daughter, was also there. She is blonde with hair in braids at the back. Let's fight some darkspawn with a dog.
On it.
These are all Hurlocks, about 9 Hurlocks.
Just die already!
Desperation is a healthy perfume. Let's get started.
Let's make this quick!
Come now, defend your... Sorry. A little frantic. I can see why.
Just die!
Oh, I just got knocked out. I thought my health was better than that.
Die already!
Alright, so now I'm controlling Alistair. Alistair is surrounded by 5 Hurlocks, which is like all of the remaining ones. Let's see if I can do anything with Morrigan. Can you shock these guys? I'll have Alistair get out of the way.
Order.
Yep, that's good. Now freeze one.
So be it.
On it. I go.
Alright, took 2 of them down.
Sick.
Morrigan needs to drink a lyrium potion to regain her mana. There we go. Mind Blast.
Watch it!
Stun them.
And that! Gotcha!
Alright, she took one down. Nope, she just made it stumble back.
Lost me on you.
Okay. The dog is wagging his tail happily and panting, covered in blood. I think this is the Mabari I helped cure back at Ostagar.
I think he was out there looking for you. He's chosen you. Mabari are like that. They call it imprinting.
Does this mean we're going to have this mangy beast following us about now? Wonderful.
He's not mangy.
Speaking of which, he's about the size and pattern of a boxer. Sort of a medium to large sized dog, but definitely sturdily built. Definitely a war dog. I've always wanted a dog like this. Maybe it's meant to be. Happy bark. Oh, now I have to name the dog. Oh no, I was not prepared. It's a good dog name. What is a good dog name? I guess we're assuming the dog is male. That's how everyone's been calling it. I have not read the Dresden Files, but Mouse is a good name. It's actually an ironic name. I think we meet a character named Mouse later, later in this game. You know what, I can rename him later, so I'm just gonna go ahead and name him the first name that came to mind, which was Pebble. That's definitely a very cutesy name, not a warrior dog name, but I'm gonna go with it. This dog's name is Pebble. Now I have a codex on Pebble. Quote, "The Mabari is clever enough to speak, and wise enough to know not to. Bryony found this Mabari in the camp at Ostagar. His master was killed in the wilds, and Pebble fell ill from biting the darkspawn in battle. Pebble seems to have chosen Bryony as his new master now, seeking Bryony out after the battle at Ostagar and warning of an impending darkspawn attack. Very good. Oh my gosh, we have so much codex to catch up on. Not now, but sometime soon. And I get to level the dog. Level 7 war dog. So I'm gonna pump his strength all the way up to 24. Constitution 22. That's really most of what he'll need. And dexterity, a little bit of cunning. And there are only 2 dog talent trees. So I'll give him, let's see, Growl. The Mabari growls. The opponent suffers a penalty of -15 defense unless it passes a check. Dread Howl, stunning nearby enemies. Combat Training. And Overwhelm, that's the best dog ability. It lets you basically pin an enemy to the ground and attack it for normal damage 7 times. That's really overpowered. I hate it when enemies can use it against me, because enemy mobs do get it too, but Overwhelm, best ability. And tactics slots. Tactics, dog. Looting, acidic coating, 3 silver.
On it.
Stamina draft and lyrium potion.
Right.
3 silver.
This should be easy enough.
Stamina draft and some heavy boots, which I can't wear. Well, which I can't pick up, rather, because I'm inventory full. We will move on from this mini area. It's literally just a road with a fence on one side and a wall on the other. Maybe the wall of the highway, the King's Highway. Alright, so now we continue our journey up to Lothering.
Wake up, gentlemen! More travelers to attend to. Led by an elf, of all things.
They don't look much like them others. You know, maybe we should just let these ones pass.
Nonsense. Greetings, travelers!
Highwaymen, preying on those fleeing the darkspawn, I suppose.
They are fools to get in our way. I say, teach them a lesson.
Now, is that any way to greet someone? A simple 10 silvers, and you're free to move on.
So we're here on the stone King's Highway. It's a raised road about, I don't know, 10 to 20 feet variously off the ground. Pretty wide too, wide enough for 6 to 8 people beside. And we've been approached by this group of highwaymen, the leader of which is a brown-skinned man with short brown hair. He's wearing a leather vest, and definitely seems like he's probably the most charismatic one here. The other guy, who was meant to just sound just over-the-top stupid, is carrying a giant warhammer on his back, but otherwise looks unthreatening. 10 silvers and you're free to move on. You're toll collectors, then.
Indeed, for the upkeep of the Imperial Highway. It's a bit of a mess, isn't it?
You're fixing the highway. I think not.
Not much gets past you, I see.
It's not really a toll. We're just robbing you, see?
Do shut up. Even a genlock would have understood that.
Forget it. I'm not paying.
Well, I can't say I'm pleased to hear that. We have rules, you know.
Right. We get to ransack your corpse then. Those are the rules.
I can try and pass an intimidation check to say if they want to fight a Grey Warden. I can just give them 10 silvers to avoid this fight, or I can go ahead and get in the fight. I'm gonna get in a fight.
Well, this is going nowhere. Let's finish this, gents.
Just absolutely comical. Love these guys. Dumbasses. There's 5 of them. Between the dog howl and Morrigan's mind blast, everyone's been double stunned.
Excellent! We surrender. We're just trying to get by before the darkspawn get us all.
As soon as I got the bandit leader down to being knocked out, he immediately gave up. Get by? You're a criminal.
Yes, I'm a criminal. I admit it. I apologize.
I want some questions answered.
Well, what could I tell you? We aren't even from these parts.
What's going on in Lothering?
It's packed full. The band took his men north with Tear and Loghain, so there's no one looking out for it except a few Templars at the Chantry. Well, I was just trying to feed my family, you know?
What news have you heard?
Everyone's saying how the Grey Wardens betrayed the king during the Darkspawn fight. Got him and themselves killed. Tear and Loghain pulled out just in time. First thing he's doing as regent is putting a bounty on Grey Wardens.
Have you heard about any survivors from the battle?
Couple, maybe. A group of wounded ash warriors came by earlier. Got right out of their way.
I'm done asking questions.
Well, then let me go!
Okay. Various options here. I can say, now you die. That's extreme. I'm turning you into the authorities. I don't know what that would be. The Templars, I guess? They're religious authorities. I can try and recruit them. I could use some soldiers. Or I can say, hand over everything you've stolen. Or I can say, just leave and don't come back. Let's say give back what you've stolen.
Yes, of course. The coins we collected are right here. Just over 100 silvers. The rest is in the chests we brought. I swear.
Alright, then go and don't come back.
Bless you. The Darkspawn can have this place.
And I've received something called Surveyor. What is that? It's a ring, +2 willpower. I've also received a dog whistle, which I think is something that lets me summon or dismiss the dog as a pet. There's a dead knight on the road. Who's this? He's carrying Knight's Locket and Knight's Note. What is this? A note from Sir Henrik. So many of my fellow knights have been searching for the urn. Surely one of them must have found Brother Genetivi by now. Still, until I hear that all is well, I must proceed as planned. Brother Genetivi holds the key to finding the urn of sacred ashes. We always knew this, but I believe I now know where Brother Genetivi lies. I've been to his home in Denram and found the trail, and I'm amazed that other knights have not done likewise. Unless they have? No, it's best not to get caught up in thoughts of conspiracy. Sir Donal awaits my report in Lothering. I must go to him immediately and report what I have learned. Should anyone find these ramblings, all I ask is that he be informed of my fate. I pray that he complete what I cannot. There's somebody in Lothering that this guy was trying to report to. I guess we should. There's a bunch of overturned carts here on the road. They must have belonged to the bandits. There's a crate with 2 trap components and a long sword. 2 more trap components and a green stone. I can't carry any of that because my inventory's full. But I'm not into trap making. So we are descending a ramp from the King's Highway, which continues further on, but we are getting off at the exit. It's time for Lothering.
Well, there it is. Lothering. Pretty as a painting.
Ah, so you have finally decided to rejoin us, have you? Falling on your blade in grief seemed like too much trouble, I take it.
Is my being upset so hard to understand? Have you never lost someone important to you? Just what would you do if your mother died?
Before or after I stopped laughing?
Right, very creepy. Forget I asked.
You have been very quiet, Alistair.
Yes, I know. I was just thinking.
No wonder it took so long, then.
Oh, I get it. This is the part where we're shocked to discover how you've never had a friend your entire life.
I can be friendly when I desire to. Alas, desiring to be more intelligent does not make it so.
Anyway, I thought we should talk about where we intend to go first.
We need to hear some news before we can decide.
But we need to decide what our general plan is for afterwards, don't we? I think what Flemeth suggested is the best idea. These treaties, have you looked at them?
No, not yet.
There are 3 main groups that we have treaties for. The Dalish Elves, the Dwarves of Orzammar, and the Circle of Magi. I also still think that Arleman is our best bet for help. We might even want to go to him first.
Why are you leaving it up to me?
Well, I don't know where we should go. I'll do whatever you decide.
Now that is unsurprising.
Arleman is a good man, but I don't know for sure he's where we should go. I'm not going to fight about it.
That's the game telling us, well, you're the main character. What do you think we should do, Morrigan?
Go after your enemy directly. Find this man Loghain and kill him. The rest of this business with the treaties can then be done in safety.
Yes, he certainly wouldn't see that coming, and it's not like he has the advantage of an army and experience and...
I was asked for my opinion and I gave it. If your wish is to come up with reasons why something cannot be done, we will stand here until the darkspawn are upon us.
Is there a way to contact the Grey Wardens?
Short of leaving Ferelden to seek them out, the only place to send word to would be Weishaupt Fortress. And that's thousands of miles away.
Then I guess we need to find all these people.
I can give you directions, if you like.
Where would we find Arleman?
He'll be at Castle Redcliffe, in the far western part of Ferelden, next to the mountain passes. If he isn't there, someone will be able to tell us where he is.
Where would Loghain be, exactly?
If he isn't out in the field with his army, he's probably going to be at the palace in Denerim. We can go to Denerim, but somehow I suspect that they're not going to let us just walk around. Only a suspicion, of course.
Denerim is the city where I'm from, although it was the elven part. Where do we find the Circle of Magi? I'm just gonna ask for all the directions.
That would be at their tower on Lake Calenhard to the north. We'll be looking for the first enchanter, whoever that is.
Where would we find the dwarves?
We would need to speak to their king in Orzammar. That means heading west into the Frostback Mountains, which won't be easy.
And where would we find the Dalish elves?
If we head eastward, towards the Brisilian Forest, we should hear word of one of the clans that wanders that area. Hopefully they will still be there.
Alright, done with directions.
Then you have a plan.
I'm really not sure any of this is a good idea.
I'm not sure I like any of it either, but we don't have a lot of choice in the matter.
Of course you have a choice. You could run and forget about it all. Let the Darkspawn do as they wish until other Grey Wardens come. If they come.
That's what you call a choice?
It may not be a good choice, but it's a choice nevertheless. We all choose our path, even when it seems there is only one direction we should go.
How enlightening. At any rate, I'll stay with you whatever you decide.
Alright, let's get going.
Fair enough. Let's head into the village whenever you're ready.
Let us indeed. Oh, I've leveled up. I also have an injury from being knocked out on the road. Give me an injury kit here. Lesser injury kit. It's cured of a single injury. There we go. So we're on the outskirts of the village. There seems to be a refugee camp with a bunch of tents. Central fire that's lit. A lot of people walking around. A lot of kids. A couple of chickens.
I have a wonder, Alistair, if you will indulge me.
Do I have a choice?
Of the two of you that remain,
Sorry, looting.
Are you not the senior Grey Warden here? I find it curious that you allow another to lead while you follow.
You find that curious, do you?
In fact, you defer to a new recruit. Is this the policy of the Grey Wardens, or simply a personal one?
What do you want to hear? That I prefer to follow? I do.
You sound so very defensive.
Couldn't you crawl into a bush somewhere and die? That would be great, thanks.
These two are never going to like each other. Alright, so the refugee camp is sort of off the road to the right. There were a couple of crates there I could have looted, but my inventory is so full, I don't want to deal with it. Off to the left, there's a few other refugees milling around. In a sort of courtyard area, there's 4 benches around a tree. It's very nice, overlooking the river, which is flowing sort of lazily through town. Back on the path, actually heading towards the village now. There is a wooden palisade gate that is currently standing open.
You there! If you're looking for safe shelter, I'll warn you, there's none to be found.
This is somebody in Templar full uniform with his helmet on, which it looks like they actually recorded the audio to be muffled, which is cool.
Move on if you can. Lothering's lost.
The Templar uniform is full silver plate mail with red accents, sort of a red coat underneath and a red sash, with the emblem of a flaming sword on the chest. I was looking for some news, actually.
You might find that, though it's probably just frightened gossip. We've had refugees streaming from the south for the last 2 days. The Chantry and Tavern are full to bursting. There simply isn't enough food to go around, and we Templars can barely keep order. You'd be better off elsewhere, my friend.
Are you keeping me from going in?
I'm just warning you, things may not be as hospitable as you would expect. People are frightened.
Thanks for the warning.
Best of luck, wherever you might go.
Okay, so we've been warned. But not stopped.
It's just a guess, but I'm thinking everyone in Lothering is aware of the approaching darkspawn horde.
Yeah, me too. Alright, so I see up ahead is what looks like the Chantry. It's a pretty tall building with a big archway in front of it. Big courtyard. There's also a side quest marker in front of it. There's a little kid on the bridge over the river to the left who just yelled out. Let me see what he wants.
Have you seen my mother?
This is a short, young kid, probably about 7 or 8 years old, is what I would guess, although the game model for him makes him the height of like a teenager. He's got short red hair and a yellow tunic on. Have you seen my mother? That depends. Who's your mother?
She's really tall, and she has red hair. We live on a big farmhold, all of us. Some mean men with swords came, and Mother told me to run to the village as fast as I could, so I did. She said she'd be right behind me, but I've been waiting and waiting, and I can't see her.
Do you know where your father is?
He went with William to the neighbours yesterday, but he didn't come back.
Come with me. I'll help you look for your mother.
Mother said I wasn't to go with anyone. I'm supposed to wait for her here, in the village.
I can say, good luck with that. Or I can say, go to the Chantry and someone will look after you. Which is probably true, but given what I've heard, they may be over full. So I'm just going to give him some money. Here, take this silver. Buy something to eat.
A whole silver! Wow, thank you. So, are you really an elf?
Did the ears give me away?
Father says elves aren't very nice, but you're nicer than everybody here.
Aww.
Thank you for helping me.
That's very cute. Lost a silver. He's running away. Okay, so that's the bridge over the river. It seems like most of the town is over there.
So I take it you did not enjoy your Templar training?
That's directed at me, I take it.
Do you see any others about who have failed at their religious instruction?
I didn't fail. I was recruited into the Grey Wardens.
And if you had not been recruited, what would have happened instead?
I would have turned into a drooling lunatic, slaughtered the Grand Cleric, and run through the streets of Denham in my small clothes, I guess.
Your self-awareness does you credit.
I thought you'd like that.
Never mind, maybe they do get along. So over on the left, what direction is this? North. So across the bridge, across the river is to the north. On the north side of town, we have most of the village. A couple of side quest markers. I think the tavern is over here. See somebody labeled helpful refugee.
You might not want to go in. Tavern's full, and those soldiers are being a nuisance.
Why is the tavern full?
Same reason the Chantry's full, packed with people who fled their homes. The tavern keeper's letting folks sleep on the floors, but he can only fit so many. And those soldiers are getting restless.
Tell me about the soldiers.
They're not here to defend us. They were looking for someone before they started drinking. I hear they almost killed a man because they didn't like his face. I wonder if they're deserters from the King's army.
I should go.
Ah, of course. If you don't mind my asking, I hear talk of someone giving those bastards outside the village what they deserved. That wouldn't be you, would it?
Yes, that was me.
It was? Hey, everyone! This is the one who drove out those thieving bastards! More will probably come, but it's good to know some justice is left here. Thank you.
Well, that's very nice. There doesn't actually seem to be an everyone. The closest people to him are like 40 feet away. And there's a blacksmith working at a really makeshift forge nearby. Okay, so if I go in the tavern, it sounds like there's soldiers in there. Let me check out a couple of these side quests. Somebody here named Elder Miriam.
You got a bed for the night. You taken care of.
What?
Lothering's full up with refugees. Might be space in Alison's barn. Speak up.
Elder Miriam is an elderly human woman. She has white hair pulled back in a bun and is wearing a very simple, tattered brown dress. Actually, I was more hoping I could help you.
Don't need blades right now. We need beds, food, and an end to all these sad sots. I don't suppose you know anything of tonics, medicines, or herbs.
I don't, but my friend does. I gave Morrigan a point in that.
Then you may be able to do us a lot of good. All manner of travellers come through, many injured or sick. We do our best, but we're out of supplies. There's medicinal herbs in the woods to the north. If you make a few poultices, I'll scrape together some sort of payment. I'll write all you need to know in this note here.
Miriam's note received. 3 lesser health poultices, which we actually don't need to craft. We just have some of those. Miriam's note. Suggests that looking for elf root will aid. Yeah. So health poultices are made out of elf root, but we have... Actually, we have 18 of them, so we are good.
Have any luck finding herbs in the woods?
I didn't need them. Here you go.
This will help many people. You're a good sort, you know.
Thank you. Received 50 silver. Wow, that is, I think, more than market value for those. There's an unlockable chest behind her with a wooden shield in it. Won't take that. Inventory is still full.
Have a care where your eyes linger, Alistair.
Yes, well, don't worry. It's not what you think.
I see.
I was looking at your nose.
And what is it about my nose that captivates you so?
I was just thinking that it looks exactly like your mother's.
I hate you so much.
What?
Never mind.
I'm getting a lot of banter. That's cool. Not much else here in this north side of the village. A lot of chickens, a lot of NPCs. Here's a woman with a quest marker. With a barrel next to her with a helmet in it. It's a weird place to put a helmet. This is Allison.
Hello, stranger. I don't suppose you know anyone that can make traps?
What do you need traps for?
Old man Barlin said that darkspawn may be coming soon. He's got traps on his farm. I figured I'd put a few on my lands. Barlin wants to poison his traps. I just want normal traps.
She has long, black, straight hair, sort of swept to one side over her left shoulder. Barlin? I don't know who Barlin is. Why don't you just buy some?
None to be had. Barlin has all the traps in the village in his fields.
Okay, so I don't actually have the trap-making skill. None of us do, so I do not have an option to say yes here. Sorry, I can't make traps.
I didn't mean to bother you. Sorry.
Alright, well that's that. There's a couple people here labeled chastened. That's the sort of indigenous
How dare
people.
you accuse me of thievery? I saw you take the supplies from my car. Your grassland eyes are inept. A chastened would never stoop to petty theft. You marsh folk are all thieves and liars.
Enough! People here are already desperate and frightened. They don't need you two coming to blows.
But what about my food?
I said enough!
That was a Templar breaking the two of them up. Chastened man and a villager.
The forest failed to protect us. Our gods deserted us. There's no protection here either.
That's another chastened who I think had the same voice actor. Alright, well I guess before I go back over the bridge, I should go in the tavern here. And I think Alistair and I should maybe change out of our Grey Warden armor. I don't know if we'll get recognized in it, but better safe than sorry. I'm gonna put on the Smuggler's armor set instead. That's what Davith had. It is a blue padded shirt with a tan vest over it, and for Alistair, I'm gonna give him regular chainmail instead of Grey Warden. Actually, I don't have a full set of chainmail. So it's gonna be splintmail gloves, a chainmail vest, and let's see, what do I have for boots? I don't actually have any other boots for him. So he'll still be wearing Warden boots, but if somebody recognizes him from his boots, then we have more problems. Alright, let's head in. Oh, that's not where the door is. Here's the door.
How is it that Terran Logain survived when even the Grey Wardens didn't make it out of that place down south?
I heard he saw just in time what those Grey Wardens were doing and saved his men. He's a hero, that's what he is.
Too bad he couldn't save poor King Kalen. Blast those Grey Wardens, they deserve what they got and more.
I'll say. First they drag the king down there, and then they throw him to the wolves. It's no wonder it all went bad.
That is two men labeled gossip standing outside the tavern. Alright, let's go in. Oh, why is it hanging up so much? It's just the inside of a building. Not even a big map to load.
Well, look what we have here, men. I think we've just been blessed.
Uh-oh. Logain's men. This can't be good.
Didn't we spend all morning asking about an elf by this very description, and everyone said they hadn't seen one?
It seems we were lied to.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for trouble. These are no doubt simply more poor souls seeking refuge.
They're more than that. Now stay out of our way, sister. You protect these traitors, you'll get the same as them.
So Logain's men, there are 3 of them. They're wearing dark gray suits of armor. The woman who has intervened is a redhead, short red hair in a bob around her face, and is wearing a chantry priestess robe. Let's talk about this before things get out of hand.
I doubt he would listen. He blindly follows his master's commands.
I am not the blind one. I served at Ostagar. where the turn saved us from the Grey Warden's treachery. I serve him gladly. Enough talk! Take the Warden into custody. Kill the sister and anyone else that gets in your way.
Oh, that
Right,
escalated fast.
let's make this quick.
Okay, combat time in the tavern. So aside from us, like this is a inhabited tavern. There's a barkeep behind the counter. There's a bunch of people standing around. A few people sitting and drinking. I think there's a group of musicians playing up on the upper level. There's a lot of people in here, but I guess we're just gonna have a fight. The Chantry sister is fighting as well. She has a pair of daggers. She is fighting.
You had it coming! Let's make this quick!
All right, you've won. We surrender.
Good. They've learned their lesson and we can all stop fighting now.
The, one of Morrigan's spells must have been activated just as combat ended. The commander has, like, gray smoke pouring out of his head here in the cutscene. I don't want them reporting to Logain.
Please wait!
They have surrendered. They were no match for you. Let them be.
Yeah, once I'm out of the cutscene, I'll raise the music up. They were going to kill us.
But they failed, and I do not wish death on anyone.
Fine. They should leave, and quickly.
Yes, thank you, thank you!
I apologize for interfering, but I couldn't just sit by and not help.
So I see. Where does a sister learn to fight like that?
I wasn't born in the Chantry, you know. Many of us had more colorful lives before we joined. Let me introduce myself. I am Leliana, one of the lay sisters of the Chantry here in Lothering. Oh, I was.
I'm Bryony. A pleasure.
They said you were a Grey Warden. I'm surprised you're an elf, but elves must want the Blight defeated as much as humans, no? I know after what happened you will need all the help you can get. That's why I'm coming along.
Why so eager to come with me?
The Maker told me to.
Can you elaborate?
I know that sounds absolutely insane, but it's true. I had a dream. A vision.
More crazy? I thought we were all full up.
Look at the people here. They are lost in their despair, and this darkness, this chaos, will spread. The Maker doesn't want this. What you do, what you are meant to do, is the Maker's work. Let me help.
Very well. I won't turn away help when it's offered.
Perhaps your skull was cracked worse than Mother thought.
Thank you. I appreciate being given this chance. I will not let you down.
Now we have party selection, because we already had 4 party members, including the dog. I will deselect dog and select Leliana.
Indeed.
As the 4th party member for now. Alright, let me see if I can turn the music up. I do have extra party slot for the dog, but I believe I need to go to camp first. I believe it only happens either on area transitions or when you leave camp. So I don't have it right now. Although maybe the dog whistle? Let me see. There he is. Here's Pebble. Alright. So now Leliana has joined the party. She is a level 8 rogue with the specialization Bard. Bards follow an Orlesian tradition, acting as assassins, spies, saboteurs, and following other secretive pursuits in the constant and sometimes petty struggles between nobles. Having taken the minstrel's art to new levels, bards are skilled performers and master manipulators. Bards can inspire their allies or dishearten their foes through song and tale. And because I am a daggers rogue, I'm going to make her a bow rogue. Archery. I believe that's her canonical spec as well. So 22 dexterity, 16 strength, 22 cunning, 14 con. I'm just sort of dumping points around randomly here. I can give her 3 levels of combat training, 2 levels of poison, 1 level of traps, and 1 level of stealing. And then she'll get the first 2 Bard talents, which is a Song of Valor, which is stamina regen, and Distraction, which confuses a target. And then I'll see how many archery talents I can give her. I have 8 points left. I guess, well, no, I'm not going to give her any lockpicking, because I'm a lockpicker, and I will always be at the party. So there's no need. Alright, 8 archery talents, including critical shot, crippling shot, pinning shot, shattering shot, and the aim, defensive fire, and rapid fire modes. I'll let her tactics sort that out. I may do some tactical management off stream, just so that I'm not boring boring everyone with minute tactical fiddling. Alright, let's talk to the tavern keeper here. His name is Danel.
You're gonna make more trouble? We've about all we can stand in Lothering now.
Sorry about the mess.
They had it coming, and they were trouble enough themselves. So long as you don't start more, I won't get excited. Right then, name's Danal. Sorry I can't chat much. As you see, we've a full house.
Have you heard any rumors?
There's knights from Redcliffe wandering the countryside, looking for the place where Andraste's sacred ashes are said to lie. Can you believe that? The urn holding her ashes is a myth, and yet these knights say they were sent to find it anyhow to heal our Leliana. I didn't even know he was ill. Maybe he has the blight. If so, then times are even darker for Ferelden than any of us thought. Anything else I can get you?
So I guess he's just a rumor generator. I can ask that. Have you heard any rumors? Over and over again. I don't suppose you have any rooms.
Look around. People are sleeping on the floors and in the attic. That's how many rooms I don't have.
Okay, I'll be going.
Luck speed your way.
Leliana. She just activated a combat mode. There's a guy here with a side quest. Oh, this is Barlin.
You're here about food. Take it up with that bleeding runt by the chantry. I got other gear to sell.
You're out of food?
A whole mess of refugees come in and leave near every night. All have hungry bellies, sad tales, and mementos for barter. I sold that bleeding merchant outside about half my larder 2 weeks back, and now he's charging outrageous sums for all my food.
And the merchant is getting away with it?
But now, if that gouger isn't careful, he'll wind up in the cage with a canary, or worse. Mark my words. People get more desperate by the day.
I'll see what I can do about the merchant.
You will? Odd thing to be doing. But we'd appreciate it.
Show me what you're selling. He is selling traps, trap recipes, and some health potions and salves. I'll buy his recipes. I can't buy recipes with a full inventory. You're kidding me. Alright, I'll sell off my gems. I'll sell off some crafting reagents that I'm not using. And then I'll buy recipes. Yeah, they don't take any inventory slots, but there's some restriction in the game must be preventing you from buying anything when you have a full inventory. This guy also has some really high tier weapons for some reason. He has a dagger that's tier 4. He has a crossbow that's tier 4. He has a Kunori helmet that's tier 5. And a couple of dog paints. Those are called Caddis. But I'm not gonna buy those. My inventory's full again. He still has a side quest. What's your side quest?
You're here about food. Take it up with that bleeding runt by the chantry. I got other gear to sell.
Know of any well-paying work in Lothering?
Check the chanter's board by the chantry. There's good jobs there. I don't suppose you know anything about poison?
Poison?
Yes, that's right, poison. I've got some traps around the place. I've heard the poison hurts them beasties just as good as anybody else.
What if some refugee triggers the trap?
Well, then those bleeding sad sots should stay off my land, eh? Besides, these days, any folk out at night is more than like to slit your throat. Can you make poison or not?
I have dabbled in such things.
I figured if I kept asking, I'd find someone. I'd pay good coin for some simple poison. Something to slow them beasties down or make them think twice.
Any idea where I could get ingredients?
Well, there's herbs in the North Wood. As for other stuff, look around town. Some refugees just left things behind to travel faster. I don't really know what you need, though. I might have some in stock, too.
Alright, farewell. So he wants poison. Do I have poison for you? He wants 3 flasks of venom. Do I have any of that? I have 1. So I actually need to craft. Alright, what's venom made out of? Toxin extract and flasks. I have flasks. We'll need to pick up toxin extract somewhere. Alright, who else is in here? There's some bards upstairs. I see a set of drums, 4 different sized drums. There's a lute. Nobody's playing these instruments. We probably couldn't animate them. There's another lute with a lot more strings.
I just play what the innkeep asks. We need his coin to travel north.
Alright.
Please, I must continue playing, else I earn no coin tonight.
You're not holding an instrument. You're not playing at all. Alright, and there's a guy with an orange nameplate called Blackstone Liaison.
As I live and breathe, you're the Grey Warden everyone's been talking about.
We were not very subtle. We really got outed as Grey Wardens, just literally immediately. Is there something I can do for you?
I represent the Blackstone Irregulars. We're a mercenary company that fell on hard times after the war with Orlais. I'm sure you know that times are getting worse every day. With your help, the Irregulars could be of use to Ferelden once more.
Why should I help you?
The Blackstone Irregulars fought alongside the King's army against Orlais. We've helped nobles defend their land and given our service to people in need for generations. Our current captain, Raelnor, is an honorable man who sees that we can do some good in Ferelden once more. He is so confident in our mission that he trusted the Grey Wardens would support us.
How can I be of service?
Our leaders thought you might be willing to help. Each of our posts in Ferelden will contain letters addressed to you. Unlike most who work with us, you're getting letters straight from Raelnor and Tauran, our leaders. I hope this tells you how highly the Irregulars regard the Grey Wardens.
I'll take a look.
Thank you. When you've completed a mission, just return to me or any of our members stationed at an Irregulars post. We'll make sure your efforts are rewarded. Maker's blessings light your path.
That guy had thick sideburns. Alright, a letter from the Blackstone Irregulars. A letter written in careful script addressed to you. To the inimitable Grey Warden, your deeds have spread since the tragedy of Ostagar, and I find myself in need of one such as you. I am Raelnor, captain of the venerable Blackstone Irregulars, and I hope to win your trust. The Irregulars have come on hard times since the war with Orlais, but I've fought to improve their reputation. Gone are the days of my father's shady deals with unscrupulous nobles in Denerim. No, I have trained a guild filled with honorable men ready to fight for Ferelden, and I am proud to say that I have seen your own Grey Wardens as a sort of model. We're not perfect. My own son advocates a move back to the more lucrative way my father ran the guild, but we are steadfast. It is in this context that I ask for your help, and I promise we will reward you accordingly. Should you be willing, please find letters in this box and others like it all over the land, and carry out the request therein. For this matter, consider requests from my son as if they came from myself. And thank you again, from the bottom of my heart, whether you choose to assist us or not. You are doing the Maker's work, Warden, and I am honored to work with you. Raelnar. This letter is marked with the seal of the Blackstone Irregulars. Alright, what's in the box? I have 2 quests. Scraping the Barrel. I need to deliver letters to 3 conscripts. Should any of these people refuse, do what you must to get them to honor their oaths. Darnell Garrison in Redcliffe, Pater Gritch in Lothering, and Varel Bairn in Denerim, from Tauren. And then, Dereliction of Duty. The Irregulars require a trusted agent to track down and deal with deserters. Samael at Lake Callanhad, Leyson in Denerim, and Tornus in the Frostback Mountains. So I guess we'll just be finding these people as we go. We've received the letter of conscription. Alright. Anything else in the tavern? Let me look in the back room. I'm gonna go in the storage room. There's a cook. And a cook's boy.
I'll have no fighting in my kitchen. Out with you.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. She has a locked chest. With a tier 4 battle axe and a crossbow. My gosh, woman. A deep mushroom in a barrel. Pile of sacks with an elf root. I'll have that, thank you. Alright. I'll get out of the tavern now. Yeah, they don't mind you stealing. They do mind if you steal directly from them, using the stealing skill, which I haven't actually practiced yet. But taking items next to them, fine.
So Terran Logain is the new regent? Isn't that a good thing?
I heard that he may have had something to do with the king's death.
I thought darkspawn killed the king. That doesn't make any sense.
It's probably political nonsense. We'll be lucky if they don't burn down the entire country fighting over the throne.
Those are friendly gossips again. Alright, so we can either head north out of town into the sort of meadows north of Lothering. I believe there's some quest stuff we can do up there. But I think we should actually head back south over the river and check out the chantry.
They say your mother is Flemeth, a witch of the Kukari Wilds.
They also say that washing your feet in winter makes you catch cold in the head, but we all know that is not true. But sometimes they are right, and they are right in this.
You know the stories about...
Of course. You think my mother would let me go without telling me all the stories of her youth?
My mother told me stories too. She was the one who kindled my love of the old tales and legends.
My mother's stories curdled my blood and haunted my dreams. No little girl wants to hear about the wilder men her mother took to her bed, using them till they were spent, then killing them. No little girl wants to be told that this is also expected of her once she comes of age.
I see.
No, you don't. You really don't.
Yikes. That bridge must be a banter spot. We've had a conversation both times. Alright, I'm gonna put my Grey Warden armor back on. Since we're obviously out, might as well proclaim it proudly. Alright, let's see. There's a merchant here in front of the chantry.
Back off. I have the right to charge what I wish.
You profit from their misfortune. I should have the Templars give away everything in your carts.
You wouldn't dare. Any of you step too close to my goods and I'll...
It's so nice to see everyone working together in a crisis. Warms the heart.
Oh, you there. You look able. Would you care to make a tiny profit helping a beleaguered businessman?
The beleaguered businessman in question has messy black hair and a chin-strap beard. He's arguing with a chantry sister, a priestess, and he has two guys behind him as well. I don't know if they're his associates or just lookers-on. Why would I want to help you?
Didn't I mention profit?
He is charging outlandish prices for things people desperately need. Their blood is filling his pockets.
There's been so many of these men lately. Heartless opportunists, all.
'Tis only survival of the fittest. All of these cretins would do the same in his shoes, given the chance.
I have limited supplies. The people decide what those supplies are worth to them.
You bought most of your wares from these very people last week. Now they flee for their lives, and you want to talk business?
Look, stranger, I've 100 silvers if you drive this rabble off, starting with that priest. I'm an honest merchant, nothing more.
Not interested.
Well, I won't stand for thievery, especially not at the demand of some shrewish priest.
Then go, and may you get all you deserve.
I hope the darkspawn choke on your cheap hides. Ah!
At least the shouting has stopped. How awful that it has gotten like this.
I suppose it couldn't be helped. Maker help us all.
Might have been able to persuade him down, but I didn't. Leliana approves, +1. Hey, you left a chest and a barrel behind. I can loot those. And the chest is a health poultice. The barrel is a pair of leather boots. Can't take those. You know, I really should have kept him around so I could get rid of my inventory. Oh well. Let's go look at the chantry board. There is a man named Chanter Devons.
And Eileen spoke unto the masses, my hearth is yours, my bread is yours, my life is yours. For all who walk in the sight of the Maker are one.
Greetings? Chanter nods and smiles. Hello, I asked you a question.
Let all repeat the chant of light. Only the word dispels the darkness upon us.
He can't answer you. He's Chanter Devons.
What's a chanter?
One of them that can only say the chant of light. His board has letters of good deeds to be doing. My father fixed Widow Allison's roof once, and the charter paid him, he did.
A learned child is a blessing upon his parents and onto the Maker.
It's very funny. In the middle of this conversation, there's a NPC who's just standing between us and waving her arms wildly. She's getting in the way of the camera. It's like a vow of silence, then. He can't talk normally?
Unless it's the chant of light, no.
And so Rajmael in the heathen temple recanted. Speak only the word, sing only the chant, then the golden city is thine, spoke Andraste.
You have anything of interest on the board?
Blessed are the peacekeepers, champions of the just.
Alright, so I guess I just have to look at the board myself. Let's see. Bandits Everywhere is the name of this quest. Residents of good standing and passing travelers have indicated there are 3 bandit groups in the northern wood. This humble chanter would echo Sir Bryant's caution. There was a long quote by Sir Bryant that I didn't read. Lest you wind up another victim to these evil men. The reward for such service is 3 sovereigns. May the Maker look after his children in our hour of need. Alright, I'll take that. So I guess we'll have to go up into the northern woods at some point. Alright, let's go into the chantry. The chantry itself has a wooden palisade around it, as well as a low stone wall.
The legions of evil are on your doorstep! They will feast upon our hearts! There is nowhere to run! This evil will cover the world like a plague of locusts! Please, you're scaring the children! Better to slit their throats now than let them suffer at darkspawn hands! There! One of their minions is already amongst us! This woman bears their evil stench! Can you not see the vile blackness that fills her?
There's a man wearing leather armor holding, carrying, he's not holding it, but he's carrying a giant stone maul, and a bunch of people are gathered around to see him ranting, including a Templar. Why don't you keep your voice down?
I watch the Black Horde descend on my people! I will not be silent!
Please stop! Somebody shut his mouth!
But isn't he right? The ban left us. We're going to die.
This minion is but the first of those who will destroy us!
That's enough. This ends now.
No! Do not touch me! You bring evil and destruction! It is the end!
He just
He was right, wasn't he? There's no hope for us.
I have to pass a persuasion check. There's always hope. Muster your courage.
You're right. We can't give up.
But we can't fight. What are we supposed to do?
We can't lie down and die either. We must go north to Denerim.
And now they're walking away.
Your king is dead! There is no hope!
The guy was gone. That was just a sound playing from the middle of the air.
Maybe with that blasted chastened gone, my headache will go as well.
Oh, was that a chastened man? Okay. I guess that makes sense why he was screaming. Let's see, there's a refugee family with a tent pitched outside. There's a bunch of barrels, there's a cart, pile of sacks. What's in here? A helmet. Can't take that. And then the entrance to the chantry, flanked by 2 statues of women holding swords, and a Templar at the door. Who's this?
It's good to see you again, Sister Leliana.
Thank you, Sir Marin.
This is Sir Marin. Who's in charge of this chantry?
The revered mother runs the chantry itself, and Sir Bryant heads the Templars stationed here.
Have you heard any news?
Not since Tairn Loghain passed by with his army. It's a shame about the king. But with the Darkspawn coming, few can think of anything else.
Did you know there were bandits on the highway?
Were? Did you drive them off? Well, Sir Bryant will appreciate that.
Goodbye.
Make her watch over you.
Not the most enlightening. Alright, let's go in. Big double door. Big building. I think this is probably the biggest building in this town. Certainly bigger than the tavern. Okay, so it's a long hall. There's a wooden floor, but a red carpet down the center. Or a runner carpet. There's a bunch of refugees in here as well. Sitting on benches, walking around. A couple of family groups.
There's word of darkspawn stragglers, but no sign of the main horde.
And some
We are
Templars
the only
talking.
hope of protection this village has now, and I will not abandon them. That is all. May the Maker have mercy on us.
That was one Templar briefing another 2, and now he's standing in the center alone.
I see you have returned, sister. I thought you had left the chantry for good.
I have, Sir Bryant.
And who is the lady with you, if I might ask?
I am the Grey Warden Bryony.
I see. I am Sir Bryant, commander of the Lothering Templars. Tairn Loghain declared all Grey Wardens traitors responsible for the king's death. You know this, I hope.
Bryant is a black man with dreadlocks pulled back into a ponytail, and he's wearing Templar armor, sort of standard issue with the sword emblazoned on the front. The Grey Wardens did no such thing.
I don't believe the Grey Wardens would be as careless or malicious as the Tairn claims. But either way, there it is. It is best you not linger, though. Just in case.
Are you in charge here?
The revered mother leads this flock. I merely command her Templars. Normally, our role is to protect the Chantry and seek out unsanctioned magic. For now, it is all we can do to protect the innocent.
Where would I find the revered mother?
In her study, no doubt, preparing what she will take when we eventually evacuate.
Are you the only protection this village has?
Our ban was summoned by Tairn Logain, and he took his soldiers north with him. Lothering has been abandoned.
Tell me about something else.
If the matter is important, certainly.
Have you heard any recent news?
Other than the darkspawn horde bearing down on us, none of it is good. Tairn Logain is set to declare himself king, I hear. Disaster piled on disaster.
King Kalen had no heir.
None that we know of. Tairn Logain has no legitimate claim on the throne. He may be a hero, and his daughter may be queen, but he is a commoner, and the king's corpse is barely cold. If Arl Eamon was able to intervene, perhaps it would not have gone this far. I do not care who takes the throne. Only fools fight over who owns a cottage while it burns down around them.
I should go. Or, no, I can say I should go, or I've nothing else to ask, which seems the same, but I'll say I've nothing else to ask.
No, unless there's something else you need.
Things seem very dire in the village.
They are. With the ban having taken his men north, the village is left to its fate. We will evacuate as many as we can before the horde reaches us. I will stay as long as I am needed. Now, unless there's something else you need.
Is there any other help you can offer?
I cannot openly help you, I fear, but... Here, take this key. It opens the large cabinet on the far wall. There is more there than we can carry when we evacuate, so take what you need.
I should go.
Travel safely, and may the Maker watch over you.
Alright, so I had to run through his dialogue a couple times, but I've gotten a key to a cabinet, so that's good. I see a book I can read on a desk.
Right.
Codex, The First Blight, Chapter 1. Oh, here's another Templar, Sir Donald. I believe this is the man that the guy on the road was supposed to be reporting to. He has a quest marker over him.
Who? I beg your pardon. I did not see you approach.
Sir Donald? Is that you?
Alistair? By the Maker, how are you? I was certain you were dead.
Very nearly, Sir Donald. May I introduce my fellow Grey Warden? We are the last two in Ferelden, as far as I know.
Terrible news indeed. Pleased to meet you, my lady. Might I know your name?
You can call me Bryony.
I trust you are staying discreet, with the bounty placed on your heads.
We've heard Logain's accusations, but he's the one who betrayed the king.
If Arl Eamon were well, he'd set Logain straight soon enough.
But if Arl Eamon is sick, why are you here?
Our only hope now is a miracle. Every knight of Redcliffe has gone in search of the Urn of Sacred Ashes. Andraste's ashes are said to cure any illness, but I fear we are chasing a fable. With each day, my hope dims.
I was hoping to meet Arl Eamon, in fact.
Why is that, if I may ask?
I can say we need his help against Logain, or I'd say I prefer not to say. I don't know that I trust this guy yet. I would prefer not to say.
Whatever the reason, the Arl won't be seeing anyone until he's recovered.
I don't like the sound of that. We should see Arl Eamon for ourselves and find out what's happening.
You can travel to Redcliffe if you like. Perhaps he has recovered. Or perhaps his son might assist you. If nothing else, I am certain you would be welcomed at Castle Redcliffe. The Arlessa is there, and she could tell you more than I could.
Tell me more about this Urn of Sacred Ashes.
Supposedly, the urn contains the ashes of the prophetess Andraste. Surely you know all this.
Nope, I'm dumb as a rock. I'd like to hear what you learned.
If you're truly interested, there are books here containing a great deal of lore. Nothing I have found leads me to believe that this was anything more than a quest of desperation. I intend to return to Redcliffe soon and tell the Arlessa exactly that, once Sir Henrik arrives.
Your friend, Sir Henrik, is dead. I have something of his.
What? And you have his locket? And a note? Maker's mercy. Thank you for giving me these. I would never have known otherwise.
I'm sorry about your friend.
Thank you. I wonder how many of us have met similar fates on this mad quest.
So, your quest for the ashes brought you here?
I expected to take advantage of the Chantry's library, in fact, but my skills are better suited to battle than chasing down tales.
Shouldn't you be fleeing the darkspawn?
My mission takes priority, but I fear I shall be returning to Redcliffe with nothing to show for my efforts.
I should go.
With Henrik gone, I need to return to Redcliffe. Perhaps later I will seek out the scholar his note mentions. But I must go. Thank you again, my lady. You have been most helpful.
Alright, so we completed that quest. We have a codex on the sacred ashes of Andraste. And he has completely disappeared. He didn't even walk out. He vanished.
And when the Maker spoke, a chant of light scattered in the darkness. The word dispelled fear and ignorance. Let those who cry out from the shadows be comforted. Let those who seek redemption be delivered. Let those who have sinned be forgiven.
And when the chant spreads across all four corners of the world, let it rise at last to the ears of the Maker. Let him hear our unwavering faith. Let him hear our righteous dedication and enduring perseverance.
And then shall the Maker return to us. And then shall the Maker return to the Black City in heaven. And then shall the chant of light make it pure. Let all mankind be humbled. Let all repeat the chant of light. Only the word dispels the darkness upon us.
And when the Maker spoke, a chant of light scattered in the darkness. The word dispelled fear and ignorance. Let those who cry out from the shadows be comforted. Let those who seek redemption be delivered. Let those who have sinned be forgiven.
And when the chant spreads across all four corners of the world, let it rise at last to the ears of the Maker. Let him hear our unwavering faith. Let him hear our righteous dedication and enduring perseverance.
And then shall the Maker return to us.
Yeah, I think they're just looping.
And then shall the Maker return to the Black City in heaven.
Left,
and
center,
then
and
shall
right
the chant
the
of light
stage.
make it pure. Let
Platform,
all mankind be humbled. Let all repeat the chant of light.
Over to the left, there's a small sort of library area.
And when the Maker spoke,
sister
chant of light scattered in the darkness.
I'm sorry, but I must prepare the Chantry's vestments
fear and
before we flee. There is very
Let
little
those who
time.
cry out from
This
the
should be
shadows
easy enough.
There's a book with a
Those who
codex, The
seek
Adventures of the
redemption
Black
be delivered.
Fox. I think that's a kid's book.
Let those who have sinned be forgiven.
It's next to a child. You can open a bookshelf that's updated a codex on the sacred ashes. And there's a chest behind it, behind the bookshelves, with a bronze symbol of Andraste. That is a gift, and I have a tooltip mod that is telling me it is for Leliana. I need to throw something away. I'll throw away... two steel daggers. Take that.
And then shall the Maker return to us. And then shall the Maker return to the Black City in heaven. And then shall the chant of light make it pure. Let all mankind be humbled. Let all repeat the chant of light.
The cabinet has a pair of ancient elven boots, wow. And 4 health poultices and 1 lesser poultice.
Only the word dispels the darkness upon us.
Next to that is our friend Pater Gritch, who I think we have a quest for.
Yes? What can I do for you?
The Blackstone Irregulars. I have a letter for you from the Blackstone Irregulars.
I knew this time would come. I should have listened to my sister. Sure, sign the paper, she said. You'll enjoy some coin now, but they'll be back. I guess I'll see you on the front lines.
He was a conscript, I think. So I've delivered that. And then through a doorway to the right here is what looks like the study.
And when the chant spreads across all 4 corners of the world,
the revered mother.
let it
There's 2
rise at
Templars
last to the ears of the
guarding
Maker.
doorway.
Let him hear
Let's see if I
our
can go in.
unwavering faith. Let him hear our righteous
You, miss, what is your name? You seem quite odd to me. You would not be the first to think so. But avert your eyes. I will not have you staring over long.
Best get used to it. I'll be watching you. We want no trouble here.
That Templar has scoped out Morrigan. Here's the revered mother.
Good day, Sister Leliana. I'm surprised to see you're still in Lothering.
It is good to see you as well, Your Reverence.
I do not recognize your companion. Greetings. Will you be making a donation to the Chantry? Our need has never been greater.
I'm sorry, who are you?
I am the revered mother of this Chantry. Traditionally, those who seek my blessing tithe first.
What tithe is acceptable?
Might I suggest 30 silver?
Very well, 30 silver it is.
Thank you, dear woman. What can I do for you, then?
I am a Grey Warden. I need your help.
A Grey Warden? Here? Oh dear. You put me in a difficult position. You must know that Tairn Loghain declared the Grey Wardens to be outlaws.
So I've heard, but it was Loghain who betrayed the king.
Tairn Loghain? That is as hard for me to believe as his condemnation of the Wardens. There is a price on your head. Lay low, and I promise to keep your presence a secret. That is the best I can do. Now, if there is nothing else...
Can you provide any help to the Grey Wardens at all?
I cannot help you without risking the safety of this village and Chantry. The best I can do is keep your presence a secret. I am sorry. Now, if there is nothing else...
Perhaps I should go.
May the Maker guard you, Grey Warden.
I could have asked for her blessing, but I don't know that I'm religious. Leliana approves, +2, so donating was a good idea. There's a book I can read over here. She has a pretty extensive library in here. 4, 5, 6, 7 bookshelves. Codex on the Schism of the Imperial Chantry. Okay.
Spreads across all 4 corners of the world. Let it rise at last to the ears of the Maker.
So
let him hear our unwavering faith. Let him hear our righteous dedication.
I guess at this point, I've done about all I can in the Chantry, I'm pretty sure. Let me check my quests. So for Lothering, I have the Poison side quest and the Chanter's Board, which is to get kill some bandits. My main quest is to rest and resupply in Lothering. And then, I guess as soon as we move on from Lothering, that will complete. And I have the Blackstone quests, only one of which actually had a thing in Lothering, and I've done that. So at this point, I believe I'm just doing Lothering side quests, and then I will be ready to move on. So, I believe that's where I'm going to call it for tonight. I'm not going to get into all of the side quests. It is getting to the end of my time here, and this is a good stopping spot. So, we have accomplished quite a lot today. We have picked up 2 companions and a dog. we have Morrigan is with us now. Leliana is with us now. Our dog Pebble, who I may rename once I think of something good. We've made it safely out of the battle, although everyone else died. We've found ourselves to be outlaws, and we are on a quest to single-handedly unite the land against the Archdemon and the Blight. So that will be a lofty goal for us to achieve when we return. My streaming plans for this week, I will be back with Crusader Kings tomorrow night, Monday. Tuesday will be off. Wednesday will be my other Crusader Kings campaign. Thursday will be Oberdin. Friday will be off, and then next Saturday and Sunday will be Dragon Age again. We will return. This will be my weekend game. Dragon Age weekends. So, with that, I will bid you good night. Thank you for watching. You can find me on Twitter at CEL10E, same as here. And I will be posting these archives to YouTube as well, probably within the next day or 2. So look for that there. Alright, good night.